what do you want for your business? As a founder, you should not be involved with the mundane details of the business. You should be operating at a strategic point and looking at the growth of the company. How we are going to move the business. If I want it to outlive me, if I want it to be efficient, then I must take this first step.
Welcome back to Conversations with Mrs. Temilola Adepetun. I'm Emmanuel Emodi, and I have the rare privilege this afternoon to be sitting with Mrs. Temilola Adepetun. Such a wonderful privilege to actually ask questions on the subject of succession planning. She's been sharing quite a number of points, powerful points, and we've been learning a lot. Thank you very much for making the time today.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. So I think the first question to ask, you've been sharing about succession planning for quite a while now. It's something you've implemented in your business for well over a decade?
Yes, well over a decade.
Well over a decade. And you've been touching on some of the key concepts that border around implementation.
Yeah.
But today the questions that came up are around the leader themselves. Because, some people have attempted to implement succession planning, but, they stumble here and there. They don't know what makes them stumble. So my 3 questions are more introspective and particular to the founder themselves, something that prepares them internally before they take on the external job. Yeah, so the first question is, what did you go through that enabled you commence or take on succession?
Decision.
Exactly, ma'am.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Yes, you are very correct. A lot of things happened. Like I've said in the past, I started my business at the age of 40. And then, 10 years down the line, I started feeling overwhelmed. I engaged a couple of people, to help in decision making. Then by the 12th year, I actually opened a branch in Abuja. And at that point, I told myself, hey, you have 3 stores in Lagos and 1 in Abuja. Definitely, you can't be the only one making decisions and running this company. Secondly, yes, there were 1 or 2 things. There was a major event. It was a series of anomalies. Let me just put it in plain language. I experienced a big fraud incident that was unraveled mid-2012. And that's when I told myself that, well, something has to change here. Obviously, I had not put enough structures in place. That was evident to me because, you have to be true to yourself. And I looked at it that if I had somebody else, in the top managerial position, maybe, would have made better decisions. And I also realized that at that point, I was in my early 50s, I needed to restructure. So all the decisions I made about putting supposed structures in place had been just my decisions without, getting a consultant in. So at that point, I voiced it out and somebody recommended a consultant. And the first question that the consultant asked me, incidentally, his name is Emmanuel as well. The first question that they said, what do you want? How do you see your business in 5-10 years' time? How do you see your business? What do you want to be said of your business? And I looked at him and I thought, I had never actually given it that much thought. You know how you just continue going day to day, week in, week out, month in, month out. And I just thought, the first thing I said to him, I want my business to outlive me. I want to see my business still running long after I'm gone. Then he said, well, okay, we'll start. And then after some time, of course, we had some review sessions. And he said, madam, first of all, I'm going to have to study your structure, talk to everybody within your business, know what it's about. And normally you think, do you think I didn't do a good job? I knew I didn't do a good job. If I had done a good job, I wouldn't even be at that point where I was asking someone to come in. And the third party is always more objective than you are. So he came in and studied the entire thing, and he came and told me that, ma'am, you have to make some hard decisions. There are some things that you need to do. There are some people that might have to go, but there are a lot of changes that you need to make. So I said, okay, let's start. So that was the beginning. And of course, he had to do the job, over a period of time and then come to me with, possible solutions, recommendations. So we phased it out. And the last stage of it was when he told me that, okay, it is evident that you are up there. There's nobody in between. There's no decision-making body or at least 2 or 3 people in between, and the rest of the staff, so it was like a flat reporting line. That's not healthy for an organization like this, because by this time we had the retail and the wholesale. So you need to have people that are in charge of those divisions. And then he did a new organogram. Of course, the first thing I spotted there was he recommended that I should engage a COO, Chief Operations Officer. And I looked at him, hello, Chief Operations Officer. So if that person comes in, what will I be doing? And he laughed. He said, as a founder, you should not be involved with the mundane nitty-gritty, the granular details of the business. You should be operating at a strategic point and looking at the growth of the company. How you are going to move the business forward. So you need somebody who is going to take care of that for you. And then that person would also have other people that report to him, so that it's not another flat line again. Yeah, I must say it took me some time to digest that. But having worked in a corporate organization myself, I knew that was the only way to go. And I told myself, I went back to that question he asked me. What do you want for your business? How do you see your business in the future? And I just thought, if I want it to outlive me, if I want it to be efficient and, to be excellent, like all the values I stand for, then I must take this first step. So that was what convinced me to take that first step.
Interesting. So until the next time we're sitting together,